Summer Mink by Drake. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're gonna be talking about Summer Mink by Drake. And this is a fragrance that almost everybody was popping out reviews the first month, and I can completely understand why. It's Drake. It's gonna get clicks. Yes. However, I had a little bit of an experience, similar experience, and initially when I sprayed this on, I was loving it, man. I was ready to review it. I'm like, all right, let's go. But the first day that I wore it, I definitely wouldn't say that I have the same thought process as I do now. Here we are, probably about 2 weeks later, and actually wearing the fragrance. So Summer Mink in itself opens up pretty citrus forward, musky and floral, and very musky, powdery and floral. Quite surprising, if I'm being 100% honest. I initially thought that this was going to be this musky, woody scent profile, judging from some of the notes, which include that vetiver, the musk. There is also rose and some citruses at the top, but this is surprisingly femme. I mean, very femme. So I picked up the smaller bottle from Sephora, and on initial impression, you get this powdery, almost like Dior Homme-esque vibes without it smelling like iris whatsoever. But that powdery vibe, it's there. And it's very unisex in a way. So if you're a guy who likes unisex fragrances, and I personally love them, then you'll have no problem with the opening at least. And some of my most complimented fragrances smell exactly like that. So it starts off with something that's fresh, but also soapy in the sense of like you just came out of the shower, and musky. As it starts to dry down, it develops a bit more of this powdery aspect that's slightly woody as well. But through and through, from the top all the way to the dry down, this is surprisingly femme. Yeah. I mean, it's unisex, don't get it wrong. I mean, I've worn this and I would wear it again, but it's surprisingly femme, like pretty femme. All right, now I know a lot of you guys in the comment section, I don't know, Neeb, I'd wear this, I wore it, I had no problem. I did too. Don't get it twisted, man. I loved it and I rocked it. But it reminded me a lot of La Vie Belle Rose Extraordinaire, which is now discontinued. It had very much so similar scent profiles. I'm not gonna say that this is inspired anything like that. No, that's not the point here, guys. But it reminded me of. It's got that same buttery style, lipsticky, powdery makeup vibe, along with citruses. And that powdery makeup vibe has the essence of rose. And as it starts to dry down, the powdery essence in itself starts to get a little woody. So, okay, you could say that it starts off relatively unisex, more femme, and then slightly back to unisex. But I never once felt like this was unisex leaning masculine in any way. So with that being said, I feel like a lot of people jump to reviews and you know, the hype and the excitement of, oh my God, it's Drake's fragrance, maybe he'll see me, maybe they'll see me, maybe whatever, drop the review, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you could say whatever, maybe obviously I thought about it, right? But no, in all honesty, this is something that I really wanted to test. And look, you might think I'm prefacing to say it's not a good fragrance. That's not the case here. But what rather I want to really run home, you guys, is that this is unisex leaning femme. And I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at how femme leaning it is. I'm not surprised because of the fact that like it doesn't smell good. It's just surprisingly unisex. Okay, now we have that on the side. Would I still wear it? Yes, but I kind of feel a little pretty when I wear it, honestly. Yeah. That's it. And look, let's put that aside now. Let's move on into the fragrance. How does it smell? It smells excellent. One of the craziest when it comes to the sillage and the performance, which is such a surprise. I was ready to chalk this up as just some bullshit ass collab that he probably never smelled and just said, okay, wow, and then it sold, right? No. This is really good. This is really good. The quality, I mean, and when I looked at the bottle, I was like, oh, this is gimmicky. No, the scent in this is really good. Quality. And the performance, dude, I give this performance like a 9 out of 10. I remember my sillage just literally everywhere I was going, I could turn around and people who are not into fragrance like, sillage, what is sillage? Sillage is basically like the scent trail that you leave, right? So when you walk and you walk back, you can kind of smell your cloud. That's a sillage. But the projection and how far it was going off of me, it was a good 3 to 4 feet, man. This thing performs and it lasts. I mean, I had a coat that I thought was gone and the next day I could still smell it. On skin, I would say about 8 hours. So if you're looking for performance, this is absolutely there. And if you're also looking for a unisex fragrance that's fruity, musky, and powdery, then this would also be okay with you. In all honesty, I still like the fragrance. I really, really enjoy it, but I wouldn't give it more than like a 7.7. So in a nutshell, it's a powdery, floral, rose fragrance that a man can pull off. You just really have to be comfortable with it being unisex, slightly leaning femme. I didn't say that to turn you guys off from it. No, I said that so that you can make a more educated purchase. I just want to make sure that you guys know that when you're going into buying summer mink. In all honesty, per my taste, I would buy it again. Will I wear it that often? That's something to be argued. I brought it with me to Dubai, so there's that. I wore it today, but I did find myself having to layer it with something a little bit more masculine. So I might end up layering it, like this with Stronger With You, this with some kind of woods fragrance, or in all honesty, if I want to smell like I just came out of the shower, this is something I would rock. For the scent, I think ladies, you should absolutely check this out as well. As for the scent and my final rating and score and impressions, I give this a final score of a 7.75. And the reason I say that is because although it leans unisex femme, it still smells incredible. I love this. If a woman were to wear this, I would probably eat her ass up.
What?
Literally and not literally. But I also like it enough to wear it occasionally. I also like it enough to wear it occasionally. Now, if you like fragrances like myself, if you like fragrances that are kind of musky, fruity, and airy, this will be in that realm, but still slightly challenging because of that powdery rose. That's the aspect that gives it its feminine touch. So let me give you guys an idea of a powdery, musky fragrance. Would be something like Musk Therapy that has a bit more citruses, a little bit more indolic and fatty. This one goes more towards powdery and musky rose, floral. So imagine Musk Therapy territory, okay? Now add rose. So if you have ever tried that fragrance, then you know as to how far in the unisex realm it goes, because it slightly leans towards the feminine side of things. And that in itself smells like a fabric softener, along with some citrus freshness and powder. And that's what this is. So 7.75, I still think it's solid. For the performance alone, I would give the performance on this a 9 to, honest to God, it's deserving of a 10 because I can still fucking smell this on my freaking arm. And it's, so I left here at 3:30, it's now 10:30. And I can still smell it on my arm, you guys. Still smell it on my arm. And I sprayed this, and this is all I can smell. Let's give it performance 10. The scent profile in itself, 7.5 is fair. If we average them together, I think this deserves a solid score overall of an 8. And that's a pretty damn good score, especially for a collab with our favorite artist, of course, Drake and The Weeknd from me. But the objective truth and reality of Summer Mink by Drake. It's a great fragrance. I was ready to chalk it up as a bullshit collab. It's not like the, oh my God, get it now, but it is really damn good. And in all honesty, I mean, if you like his music and stuff, you should definitely support. I do, that's why I grabbed it, and I'm gonna be grabbing the big bottle to support him even more. Even if it's an 8, I think it's a pretty damn good 8. Oh, and by the way, if you like powdery rose fragrances, this is amazing in that realm. You get the idea, right? Yeah. So it's called Summer Mink by Drake. Let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this one, and whether or not, as a man, would you signature scent this? That's what I'm most curious about. Luckily enough, you can just walk into Sephora. Hopefully it'll be there, but I wish them nothing but success. And that was my honest review on Drake's Summer Mink. I'm excited to see what other fragrances he'll drop, because this was a really good beginning. I'll see you guys in the next one.